nice way. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done a video, but I've been really busy with other things, and I decided to actually come downstairs and do a little fine tuning on some of my poly cars. And some of the cars I've tuned for the plastic track when I had the old Area 51. Now that we have the wood one, you have to make slight adjustments and changes because it's a different surface and a different layout, of course, and you always tune the car to your track. So on these poly cars, I've always been a big fan of them. Reason why is because of the value on them, and they're not very expensive in my book compared to other cars that are $20 more than this one. And the detail level is always beautiful on them, and they're readily available. And once these are properly tuned, so setting your front axle height and giving some body float, and checking your gears, make sure you're not too loose, and you could put a little weight too. And I used a lot of this pickleball tape because it's super thin, and you're able to put it on the bottom of the chassis and give weight to these cars. Now I know if you take these to a track or for a club, some clubs don't allow outside weight. Me, it's for home use. I don't go out and do club racing or anything like that, so I would obviously follow the rules if I did, because no weight's allowed on the outside and they don't want weight. It's just the rules. But this is just something that I do with these cars. And then what I do also, since the plastic track, these work really well. So these are the stock Policar rubber tires. These would work well too if you run them down a little bit more, but I feel that the NSR tire is just more grippier from my track. And again, this is just a preference, and you always watch this because these um, wheel inserts like to pop out a lot, and I'll probably have to glue that later because that will end up flying off on the track as you start moving the wheel around. The centrifugal force will knock them out, but that's fine. That's no big deal. Now, a tire I do use for these are the 52, give me a second, the 5212 20 by 12 Evo Super Grip NSR tires. These work really well for these cars, at least these particular ones that I have for my track. Of course, NSR makes a lot of different compounds. I do like this compound. What I generally do is when I swap them out, I don't glue the tire to the wheel because this doesn't really, again, this car is not, how would you say, needing any truing, to be honest. I think the track drews them on their own, and it's a real light car. But what I do is I do shave these down on the corners because we don't want them square because they catch and then they cause the car to tip and in a corner and tip and fall over. So I shave these down to make sure these are nice and corners are round, and then that really helps the car. And then little weight as you add. I've added weight here and here as I've been kind of moving it around. I've got this car to go maybe about 5.1 seconds around my layout. The other car that's similar to this, which is the Gold Leaf one, I got 5 seconds out of that one. So as you drive the car, and of course you adjust your controller for your driving characteristics and have your own way of doing stuff. The car starts improving as you drive it. These are really fun. I'm a big super fan of these cars. I have every one of these, with the exception of the new special box edition one, which is on pre-order. And I can't get enough of them. I have almost a complete case of these. It's really worth the time and effort to tune them and take them apart. They're a little bit more delicate, so you have to be very docile. You can't be rough with these because there's a lot of little plastic pieces and pipes and details. But man, again, these cars are well worth it. I've always loved these cars, and always will, and always will take the time to tune them. But they're fun to drive once you get them tuned up and you get your tires and weight set and all your body float and all your chassis float. And again, it's a very well driven car. Of course, watch your little wheel inserts. They don't fly out. That does typically happen sometimes, and you can glue them in just to keep them in. Of course, you could improve these cars by changing to the aluminum wheels. They do have aluminum wheels from these, aside from the plastic, and in this way you could have them, anchored down by a grub screw. But you could get those at Stock Car Corner. Those are available there. But if you just want to drive them like this and leave the plastic wheels, which I have, maybe one day I'll little by little improve them by replacing the wheels with aluminum. But for now, I'm happy with them. And again, the engine detail is just really nice. So again, just going back to this right here with just tuning a little and having fun. I've done tuning videos on these cars, and I'm sure there's other tuning videos on them as well. But again, they are really a blast to drive and a lot of fun. Another thing you could do also is you could go with the real thin slotted racing braid, which is the super thin tinned one, other than this one, to bring the car down more. I don't have a problem with this one. If I'm having trouble getting the front end down where the wheels aren't really touching, then I will change the braid to the real super thin stuff, and I will show you what I mean. And that would be this right here. But you can see how thin it is. On some cars, the front end sits too high, and the braid attributes to some of that. This isn't giving me that problem, but you can go to this slot it racing braid, and it will drop the car more, and it works on other different various brands at all if you're having a problem with keeping the front end down, because having these contact on the track, now that's not act as outriggers, are extremely important, because as they go around the corner they touch. If you have nothing touching, the car will tend to teeter more, and then it tends to deslot. So it's a good thing to keep that in mind. You just have to tune it and ride and run it, and you just take the time to do it. It's really well worth it. Once you're done with these, they run great. So let's stop talking about it. Let's throw this on the track and see what it could do with the time. All right, here we are at the track. As you can see, I've been running like an hour on the timer. Now, the last car that I had on here was this one right here, which is the Gold Leaf car. And this one, of course, is the Johan Rindt. This is a special edition one. And this one right here reflects the time as best lap as a 5.078. This one I got basically is the same as the car right here that we're going to play with, which is the Villager. And this one right here, we had on the bench, add a little bit of weight to it, and we're going to reset the timer on this, and we'll see how well it does. It depends on the driving too, though, because I mean, a lot of people don't realize when you drive these, it is important to remember that when you're driving them, that every time you stutter or do a slip, that costs you time. So let's reset this. So here we go. We got some clean tires. A little sliding out there. Again, I'm pushing it too much. I'll learn to come around them corners and slow down a little, George. There you go, 5.043. See how you're able to manage the car on the corners? Because if you go too fast and you start doing that or stuttering around because you're over accelerating, then that's how your lap times get longer. But again, we're trying to talk and drive, which is tough. So let me put that back on there. So we got a 5.043. And then you can go along and tune it a little bit more if you feel it needs a little bit more weight. Maybe you want to try different tires that'll fit this car. Things like that. That will help you, benefit you, as you learn. These are good learning experience cars because you're able to get to learn more about tuning as you deal with something more delicate, and you start realizing that, on your other cars that you don't have to worry about being so delicate that you become more adept to tuning. And tuning these cars are really easy and they're not very difficult. It's just taking your time, a little trial and error, and a little bit of, love with the tires. Even if you want to keep the original Policar tires, you could, sand them down a little. These ones I won't sand because they're NSRs. I'll let the track wear them in. I don't really true tires all the time. Only on certain cars or certain types of tires I'll do it. So I think plastic track you would need to tune your tires can be tuned. True your tires more because plastic's a little bit more wavier, and it's plastic. It has little variations in it where wood track is more of a harder surface. There are some spots on the track though. There are little, how would you say, creases in them from the joints, but overall it's a very smooth surface, and you're able to do what you can. Oh, I can't seem to get another good time out of it like I did that 5.043. Again, that's all from just not overdriving it too much, and maybe needs a little bit more tuning. You see how it does, it'll slide too much there. See a little bit better. I stuttered over there, it's too much acceleration. So you get used to each of your tracks, and you get used to the car and tune it to your track, and you get yourself some good times. Well, 5.147. I lost about a second there. About 3 seconds. Goodness, see how much you lose when you do that. There's another second. There's another one lost. So it's all about managing the car around the corner and driving it correctly to get you some good times. See how that one's a little bit better? Not too much. Again, trying to drive and talk is a little tough, and the camera's on me, pressure's on. But anyways, let's see if we can try and get a better time. I'll try it. Try it again. 5.2, not far away from the other time we had. Lost out there. Oh, and just too much, see? And again, it's all a lot of fun. And when you sit here and you're driving these or just running these cars around the track, I'm not getting anything. Thunder slots, Revo slots, slot it, fly cars you tune. Obviously, fly cars need to be tuned real well. And any other brand that's your favorite, whether it's Scalextric or Carrera, it's just all about the fun and just sitting here and just relaxing and just watching your car go around the track and just getting better times and trying to improve your driving skills on your own track, knowing where to slow down, where to go fast, where to not put too much like I did right there and right there also. But hey, this is what the whole slot car hobby is about. But so that's it. I just wanted to just make a small video. I know I haven't really been doing these videos. They've been more other stuff, with resin 3D printing. But for now, we're gonna just basically do a few videos like this, and as I find cars that I want to talk about, I'll just do a couple more. But again, I appreciate you joining me here at Area 51 Raceway, and as I always say, you guys take care and have fun racing.